YouTube above average Cody here, coming at you with some viewer VOD review and arguably one of the more exciting ones that I have done. Today for you guys, we have some gameplay from Revenite, who is actually a D5, D6 player trying to make that final push into Onyx. And now he sent me 2 games, which is quite a bit of gameplay. One is a King of the Hill win and a 3-round oddball loss. I'm going to try to make this video fairly short, but also try to give you guys as much info and as much help for Revenite. And you guys actually saw this King of the Hill gameplay playing in the background, and we're going to go right into his second life here. And we see a very key thing that he actually does quite a bit in his gameplay. First thing, though, something good. I love seeing anybody grab things from the sandbox right off the spawn. This is something I'm trying to do a lot more in my gameplay. And then he does the thing that I drill in nearly every VOD review. He looks at what his teammates are doing and then acts on that. Now, obviously, guys, King of the Hill, first point is on B. He sees one teammate running up back C. He sees it being a better route to turn and move towards bridge, where he sees his teammate go down. Overshield's right in front of him. He already has the green gun that he went and grabbed right off spawn. He is pretty much ready to take whatever's about to come at him here. So he jumps up. He misses the first green gun shot. And now I really like this play to just hug the box and kind of wait. But then you fly out very confidently onto OS with the green gun. Although you have the green gun already in this situation, it is still very hard to hit the shot. And if you miss that shot, you are more than likely dead here. And if we let this play out in the death cam, you actually had help coming from back tower. I'm not sure what this teammate's doing up here. So you did have help on the way to try and take down that OS, which your teammate actually wins here. So although you do have green gun and I like you attempting to get the play on OS, when you miss this first shot and you hug this box here, I love this play. This is a great play. Just try to wait 1 or 2 more seconds for those teammates to come help. And one thing I will say on the journey to Onyx here is if you are not an amazing fryer, like putting up absolute insane kill to death ratios every single game solo queue, it is very, very hard to make that push into Onyx. Having teammates help, having really good comms helps. So you could have easily buffed that out with either some team chem or some good communication with your teammates, which I'm not sure you had, but that's just something I want to add at the beginning of this video, or at least early on, is that having 2, even 3 teammates to communicate with helps ever so much. The higher you go through the ranks, the much more team-based it becomes. And I'm not saying you can't solo queue. It's just kind of luck of the draw whether you get teammates that kind of know where they need to be and when they need to be there. So moving on to the next life here. Now, you come out and get 2 nice kills, but you actually die immediately after. And one issue here is watching the kill feed. So you actually have 1 teammate die here, you have 2 teammates die here, and you have 3 teammates die. You are now the last alive. Although you are pumping in good damage, you want to do everything you can to do your absolute best to maybe live up. And just the way you're kind of taking this gunfight, you leave yourself kind of outside of any cover. You're too far away from these pillars to use these, and you moved out of the doorway a little too far. It is great that you got 2 picks there, but if you are going to make this play, I think you get this pick and then work towards the pillars or something of that nature. Just anything that can buy you a few more seconds of life potentially, or just hug the tunnel door to put in some damage, because before you're even out of tunnel door here, you have 2 teammates dead in the feed here, and as you're walking out, the third one actually dies here. You can very easily get this pick and just back right into the door frame. Instead, you just choose to move out, keep shooting. And although they are good shots, and it is huge that you were able to get 2 picks, your entire team is in the respawn screen pretty much. So it's going to take you guys some time to get there, and they are basically guaranteed this point at that moment. I'm not saying you holding that doorway is going to help you guys stop that point in some way, shape, or form. But it does give you a chance to live up, influence spawns, and potentially move to the next point, or maybe even make them nervous on that point. If you can get 2 picks there, they might back off it. They might be a little bit more scared. 2 potential ways that could have gone. But now you guys are 4 fresh up, And as you can see on the topic of influencing spawns, you guys all spawn far away from the next point because it is very easy for the enemy team to be like, okay, we have multiple dead, they're in the respawn screen. All we have to do is dart to the next point, and that will influence the spawns to back A or towards that OS side, which is exactly what happens. So you can see how valuable if you were able to live up over here on pillar door and back out towards dummy door, you could have completely influenced the spawns and gotten your team much, much closer to the point. So again, good shots, a very good double kill there, but it does set you, it makes a really big uphill battle on P2 here. So moving on, you guys all spawn up where I pretty much said the spawns would be influenced towards, which we already saw that. So moving out towards B, you have one teammate just absolutely sprint straight for the point and go down. And then here, a little unaware, you can't just walk out and just kind of assume that the map is open on that side. Because again, you need to look at where your teammates are, which I already know you know how to do by the way you are moving off spawn. Your entire team is on kind of like the right 50% of the map, maybe even 40%, because you don't really have much map control here since you're off a fresh spawn. So when you move out left here, you have to assume there could be one ratting around nest area because they're likely checking all the angles, waiting for you guys to come towards them, especially now that they have this pick. And it's not too crazy to have somebody playing very far off point, eating up some of the map, and that's exactly what this player is doing, and you were very not ready for it. So you just have to be kind of aware when you are on a fresh spawn, you don't really have any map control, and you just have to think about where the enemy could potentially be around the map. So just to recap so far, taking gunfights a little bit out in the open, a little bit too confidently. We saw it flying out with the green gun on OS and also coming out of pillar door, getting that double kill early. And then also map awareness. Always think about where your enemies could be, and if you have an instinct or a hunch that one could be there, chances are you're probably right. So here we go. You're spawning on P2 here. You have OS coming up in a second or two, and you're a little late to get there. Your teammate was out there alone, and now you're very weak, and they grab the OS. And your teammate actually put in the chat, which you guys can't see behind the webcam, he put play OS. Just right here, I'd like to see you move towards OS a little bit faster. You already have this teammate weak, about to take point, so you really don't have to stand here on point. And then by the time you kind of decide that that's not needed, you're a little bit too late to get to OS, so you just want to be very aware on power-ups, but I already know you know that. And then here, you do a very good job of using your cover, trying to live up here. You do obviously get picked, but I like the way you did not just fly right out. So that's very good. You want to take more gunfights like you did right there. Now your teammate here is just going to go down because they're just flying at him. And now right here, you guys want to make sure to keep composure and push kind of as a team. You have one teammate on point dying. You're up on nest, kind of just chilling. Fantastic job waiting. You see your teammate go into chow, and now it's time to poke out. And really just super unfortunate timing there. Your teammate flew up a little early here. He kind of just went guns blazing, and then you come up to help him. I don't know where he took all of this damage, but he's already one-shot, so he's just hugging the box. And then you're pretty much, they're looking for him because they just saw him fly up and take damage, and then you kind of just get killed there. Again, I knew something like that was going to happen. That's why I said, like, I really want to see a push from everybody at the same time. But again, this is where having a team with communication can help it because that's really the best way to time things up on a push like that. You're gifted one weak here, back B. You jump up, reticle up, you're paying attention. You choose to back up and wait for the push to move up. I like it so far. You see that the push has made its way up to mid already, and you know you just backed this guy down pillars, so you're going to fly out and get this nest position. I really like what I'm seeing here. Two teammates go down top mid. Really unfortunate. You're flying out pretty confidently, but you end up dropping off that ledge. I don't think you meant to, but it's a good play that you kind of made work, and then this kid, Papers, just flies right out on you, which really was a really good play on his part here to chase after you. Because, again, the enemy has numbers, so he knows it's safe. You're likely alone there, so he can just fly out and get that kill. They're really just, again, your guys' timing was a little bit off. Again, you did a good job trying to sync up the timing with them, but them going down so quickly there, it was just already too late, and this is kind of a lost push. And then even though you try to back out, again, this fella here makes a good play pushing out on you. And you did a good job trying to get him with that nade, but there was only so much you could do in that situation, honestly. Now on to P3 here. You guys are spawning here again. A lot of damage, a lot of hiding. And you can see here, you're actually spawning out. So you know the heat is right here on this point. You're kind of chilling in an awkward area, but you catch this guy off guard, get a nice little kill. You're alone here. You're doing a lot of jumping around on that stair set. Teammates there to help you. Okay. And now you can just chew up some point time here. Teammates are moving all around this map. So right now, B is open. OS is a little bit open. It seems like they're trying to play that way. It looks like OS is up in a second. Jump off point. Play out for that OS. Just got to be more careful about how you're taking these angles. You are one shot here. And you're not only reloading, you're exposing yourself to the side of the map that you know enemies are going to be pushing. And then by the time you try to back out, I don't know if you got, like, stuck on that edge there. But you really want to make sure you have that gun loaded before you go out, or just keep the 9 bullets. And then don't expose yourself so much. Since you just watch your teammate go down, you want to play a rattier angle watching this. Maybe window or just anything to give this guy pushing this some shots. But again, just kind of getting caught out in the open there. Very awkward spot to get caught and go down. And yeah, half your team looks like they are absolutely allergic to playing OS. Again, good comms, teamwork is really going to make the dream work. Here you get a nice little pick there. I'd like to see you chow that angle a little bit faster. You kind of slow walked around the corner, which again, you do a very good job keeping your reticle up. I don't have any issues really with the reticle movement or placement at all. You were very ready to shoot that fella right there. Good bait and switch by your teammate. You kind of left him there a little bit. Again, just a staggered push here. You guys are kind of relying on whether or not you're able to win these pivs or not. Because, again, when you guys see a bait and switch like this, and Bandos used to yell at me for this. Not literally yell at me, but he took him a while to drill it in my head here. When you put in good damage and you back out here, you see your teammate come in to pick up your switch. After a couple seconds, I like to, if I'm taking this chow with Bandos, I like to hold this angle here and then potentially pop back out. Even though I'm one shot, I might be able to give that 1 or 2 bullets that can severely change the tides in the gunfight. But by backing out and running to concrete here, you cannot give any damage. Your teammate picks up 1 kill for you, and then he actually goes down here. I'm willing to bet that this fellow with the heat wave is maybe one shot, and he was. He actually slides right out. If you were right there on that corner, you could have potentially been the difference maker in that bait and switch to help both of you two stay alive here. I'm not saying that's exactly how it will go down, but the way it ends up being is no matter what, you kind of end up losing one. And if you chow this, you could be the one that dies, but chances are, I really think that you both don't die. It's kind of just like, what's the highest percentage that comes out with as many people alive as possible? And that's just kind of something you want to think about. Again, you guys are winning the trades here anyways, because you guys are just winning those gunfights, so it doesn't really matter. But just something to think about, because that could have severely turned the tides against you guys. If he went down and then maybe he flew out, got a pick on you or something like that. Just a lot of different ways that could go, and you really want to be aware of how your teammates are playing around you so that you can give everybody the best chance to hopefully stay 4 up at all times. And you guys secure that point pretty easily. And right here, you're playing very slow. I'm not exactly sure why you're kind of chilling here. So you get a kill there. And yes, somebody could be coming this way, but we are moving on to the next point right now. So once you come out and you don't see anyone here, I'm out of there. I'm trying to move over and go help my teammates. Instead, you kind of just chill here. You're hanging out. Teammate right here dies. And now you're getting shot from right in front of pillars here. And you do put up a good fight, but you're pretty much a free kill. You kind of just gave them complete map control by doing that. Again, what I would have done in this situation here is you're definitely suspicious somebody's coming from B, which is perfectly fine. You know, you see it here. You're putting in shots. You get a kill. There's somebody else. Okay, you got a little bit of damage in him. The point's about to switch. I really don't think he's going to continue pushing big door, right? Let's say maybe he is. So you come out here, and you check your big door, and you do not see anybody, you don't see any immediate threats, right? You can wait for one, and eventually one's definitely going to come, but you don't really have to. Your teammate here, Gig, just got a kill up by A. Your teammate Distinctive is still up on the point. Although you are doing a good job eating the map up, you're eating up the wrong side of the map. You want to work towards that next point. If you would have come up here, maybe you could have helped this guy survive. Again, I'm not in theater mode or anything, so I can't see exactly how this gunfight went down, but I would just like to see you move closer to your teammates and just give yourself a chance to keep this advantage, because Distinctive also ends up going down here. Even if you come up here and you can't save Gig, move towards Distinctive, maybe you could get his trade. Instead, you're kind of just chilling here, Big Door, and again, you get very close to that gunfight, but you are last alive, and you kind of just give them the entire map to control as they'd please. Again, not necessarily a huge, like, tide-turning play there, but it's just those little things that can severely, like, affect how the enemy and how quickly the enemy can get that map control on you. Because sometimes it's inevitable they're going to get map control because they have the numbers advantage, but you have to do what you can to get those favorable spawns, make the enemy nervous, and just do whatever you can to kind of not give them the map for free, I guess, is what I'm kind of trying to say there. Here, great job backing out of the gunfight. Enemy flies out on you. Teammate should pick up that trade, though, and he does. A little bit sticky, but he does. Again, right here, this is what I want to see. That slow push on the doorway, you throw the grenade, you back out, and although this enemy slides out and kills you, this is how I want to see the gunfight, because what you did last time you chowed a doorway like this, you kind of just flew out in the open. Bit of a different circumstance, but the way you worked your cover there was much, much better, and you gave your teammate a chance to come help you and get that trade. So now, even though you died, you took two enemies with you and your teammate there, which is how you get numbers, how you get map control, and exactly what we want to see here. And although that trade comes in, again, you guys are kind of just cycling out down their bottom mid while your teammate soaks up the time on point, which I really like to see. You guys are playing the OS. You're waiting for it. Whoever shot that shroud screen, good work. And now you have OS here. So you kind of have freedom to play this however. You don't want to take Sponge too much damage here. But again, you guys are winning the trades. It's working out. Your teammates are doing a good job living. And you're fighting from point. This is all perfect. This is all great. I'm willing to bet it's this type of teamwork that's going to help you guys get the win here. And although you go down, you guys have great time on this point, and I'm fairly confident you guys are going to capture it. You actually kind of lose some numbers here, so I want to see how you play this really quick before I move on. And you guys spawn close to point, so you guys are good to go. They're not even looking at you down here. You should be able to go finish up that point. And they're still actually pushing it. These spawns are kind of going crazy. So they do actually end up giving a pretty good attempt at stopping you guys on this hill, which I really like to see. And you can see there your teammate's kind of just living up, waiting for everybody to spawn before he makes another push onto point. So now that you guys have some more numbers here, you should be able to get the trades and just finish up that point. And there you go. He was actually fighting from point, so you guys capped it while this was going on. Great job here, not just drooling all over those power weapons there, because a lot of people just fly out and not be ready to take that gunfight and then die with the weapons. Good job getting that kill and then picking up the weapons. I really like securing the tower control here with the sniper. And again, you don't have to overchow. Just you being here with the power weapon is enough of a nuisance to make them very nervous. You're looking for info. Again, right here, you had all the cover in the world. I really thought you were going to work this pillar here to fight this guy. But instead of working this pillar, you know, maybe playing down bottom here and just using your cover, again, you have a power weapon. You have two plasmas. You have every upper hand in this gunfight you could possibly have. But you definitely give it up when you choose to walk out in the open here. You're in the open. You have no semblance of cover. You even have help from your teammates. If you would have played this cover here on this pillar, you could have bought yourself just enough time where all of these shots coming from your teammate hits him. He's got him one shot already right here. You could have easily survived this, and what actually happens is he actually gets away on dice. He lives, another teammate goes down, and now you gave them the 3v2 map control, which is very unfortunate to see. Again, just always use your cover. Even if you're just trying to jiggle through a gunfight, you're buying time for your teammates, or you're even buying time so your teammates can put in an appropriate amount of damage. You're near your teammates. You have to have some confidence in them working with you. Now, again, 4-stack comms, 3-stack comms could have seriously helped through this situation. But from an individual standpoint, you always want to use that cover in those gunfights. Do not fly out in the open. You had every advantage, and actually you gave them sniper and I think you used the plasmas, but you definitely gave them snipe. Lucky live right there from that repulse. And now you're kind of taking the wide route towards C. And your teammates actually have the pinch here on C, so good damage. You guys resecure the sniper rifle. He doesn't even pick it up, which is kind of interesting. Hopefully he went back to grab it. Good shots onto OS. Again, I really like tower control on this hill. This is probably my favorite way to play this hill. You can kind of just sit back and watch, and then if they go down, you can kind of move up if you have numbers. Right now, you don't have numbers, so you want to do your best to live. You feel the pressure coming from the left side, so you choose to just drop down. I don't hate this. Again, you're doing a good job living up. You realize that you were last alive. And I like the idea to throw the spikes up there, but if you're going to do that, you have to throw them up and keep moving because, again, they're definitely hunting a little bit with the map advantage that you gave them. You guys are still going down here, and they secured that point relatively easily, too. So now we're back to P1. It's 2-3, and they do end up going to win this game, so they're going to get this point here. Fantastic job waiting. You're just waiting in cover. You have an escape. Anything that goes wrong, you can get out of it, and you're just waiting for teammates to come. This is how it should be played here. You're kind of hugging your cover. I very much like that. You're kind of just waiting. And now, right here, I will say it's been a bit of time since you've seen anyone, so I would probably check your other angles to see if they're coming from a different area. And as I say it, they come right out pillar door. So right here, again, you're not seeing anybody. Nobody's coming big door. Nobody's coming sandbags. You have Gig fly out. He's not shooting anybody. You have Men back here. He's not shooting anything. He's just chilling back B. You need to know that they are wrapping. They are coming from a different angle. If you do not see anything, you have to look a different way. And then sure enough, they come right up behind you pillars. Even if you're just actively like sliding, looking around, check dummy door, check your back C, look up top bridge. Even if you're just sliding periodically, checking those angles, you need to get info. If you do not have any info, you need to shift your vision somewhere where you could potentially find info. All three of you did not have to be looking that one area of the map because they definitely bamboozled you there. Right here, really unfortunately caught off guard. So right here, you come up top mid. You actually walk right over that heat wave that was down bottom mid. Always look for the power weapons. You see that they're pinging like crazy over here, right? And they have some kills, but it's safe to assume that there's still some heat coming from that way, right? There's a lot of bullets flying, and you have teammates spawning all the way back here. Again, through comms, Gig probably could have said, I'm spawning C or whatever. So you have to know that they're still coming from A. Very unfortunate timing there when you look away from Big Door, but just try to be more aware on where the final couple enemies can be coming from here. And now you're kind of chilling down pillars. You see OS is coming up. Let's see how this goes down. You're met with one here. You're able to snag it right up from under him. And I like the play to go back towards point instead of pushing that guy because that guy could easily just keep you busy, put some shots in and waste the time on OS. You definitely want to focus this power up at point as much as possible. I hate to see that you slid out in the open there. Again, they're pushing hill. There's only one teammate back here. There's an enemy. You just fly out in the open, and then you hesitate. Even if you're going to fly out in the open, at least finish your run towards the point. Don't stop and try to fight out in the open. That is the last place you want to be taking that gunfight there. And you guys should be able to secure this. You get the close spawn to point, so you can just come up, get some info. I like the repulse there to kind of throw them off. You got a one-shot here. Good job being patient with the gunfight. Again, you're kind of just dancing around with him in the open, but you do get 2 kills there. Your teammates should come and finish this hill relatively easily. I would like to see you take that 1v1 with that kid on hill a little bit more carefully. Jiggle those angles a little bit. Don't just, beeline right towards him walking around in the open. And right here, they were putting the pressure on you guys as you cap this point here. Because you go down, you have one more teammate here. He goes on, he finishes the point. And you can see he's actually fighting over there. He gets 1 kill. So, and he goes down, so you know the pressure's here. You don't really have to move out in the open so much, because, again, that's not really where your focus has to be. You don't have to get, like, B control or anything, because you guys just finished that point. So you don't really have to just walk out and die there. Just try to be more careful. You know, take the info, maybe put in a couple shots, but you definitely want to try to work towards the other side of the map, especially since Gig was just in the respawn screen from fighting back there. Here, good patient gunfight on cuts. Good job cleaning up that damage. And now you can kind of move out here. You're pretty out in the open how you're taking this, but you should be able to catch them. And you guys do end up getting them 4 dead right here, so you guys can just pretty much set up and get ready and sponge as much hill time as possible, and try to eat up some of the map control. I like that you're looking nest and see how you don't see anything, so you know that you need to look away. Most of the fights are going down top mid, and OS is coming up in 10 seconds here. You have hill about halfway, so this is kind of one of those sticky situations where you need to see whether you want to play for that OS or if you want to just keep sponging that hill time. Now, you have somebody top mid here, and one pushes your C plat, but they're not really giving you a good fight. Good job keeping that reticle up, getting that gunfight win. And by now, you guys have so much time on OS, or so much time on point, and OS is coming up, that it doesn't really matter. And you guys do a great job. Almost do a great job of staying on that hill and securing it. Great job winning that game. So a lot of good plays, but a lot of things that you can seriously, like, improve to probably improve your stat line here. And right here, you had a really good game. My camera's blocking a little bit, but you actually had the highest score, 1 minute 19 occupation, 24 and 19. Now, if you're trying to get to Onyx, these are great stat lines, but you want the best kill-to-death ratio possible, especially in the games that you are winning. So if you are able to fight a little bit more from cover and a little bit more carefully with the way you work with your teammates, you can really improve that stat line, probably to at least like 24 and 15 if you made me guess. Now, I want to pull up the game that you lost to kind of look at the same mistakes you're making and how they can greatly affect the tides of the game. And now, guys, to round off the video, we're going to look at how Revenite plays in a game that they actually end up losing. We're going to focus on the second round of this 3-round oddball game. So they won the first round. This is kind of where they kind of start to fall apart against the enemy team here. And you guys are going to notice that you actually see a lot of the same mistakes that we just went through in that King of the Hill game. But I want to see how they look a little bit differently when the fights aren't really going his team's way. Now, right off the start here, he likes to go top A and kind of look over these rockets here. Now, he's doing a good job getting some damage in this fella front C here. But again, you kind of just fly out. You're still shooting front C. Little bit of tunnel vision here. And then somebody just walks right up from B and just shoots you in the side. And two kind of separate thoughts here. One, obviously, teammates, communication can help a lot with this so you don't leave an angle open. But again, you're kind of just staring down one single angle here. And you guys aren't really getting any kills in the feed or anything. And you only see 2 enemies. So it's safe to assume there are 2 other enemies somewhere on the map. Whether they are ratting B, whether they are moving towards Bulldog, you don't really know. So you kind of have to be very careful here. Again, I do really wish your teammate would have pushed towards that way to kind of help you out there. But when you're playing solo, you really just can't assume teammates are going to help you and pick up those angles. So just try to be more aware and a little bit more careful how you kind of chow things. Right here, too, right off spawn. And you do a good job getting out very quickly with your life. You're trying to buy some time, and I like what you're doing here. You're kind of like just holding your area on the map. You're looking around at teammates, and you're just doing your best to kind of live up here. And you actually get a really nice gunfight win right here. And you definitely heard his footsteps come through arcade, so great job on the awareness. But you're kind of giving up your map position a little bit. So you go to take it back, but the only issue is now you don't really know if anybody like came to clean you up or whatever, but neither here nor there. Let's see how this push goes on to ball. There's not really much going on. You guys get a pick here on the left side of the map. You don't really see anything going on. And you're kind of just bird watching here. So there's a lot of ball time being had here in this sequence, right? So say there's nobody over here. You're good to go, whatever. We're chilling. Now, right here, they're at 24 seconds, right? You have 2 teammates pushing. Nobody's really flying in. You guys end up getting a pick. They're now at 30 seconds. and you're still kind of just hanging out here, tires. You're not really doing much, and they get all the way up to 32 seconds here. And again, you're kind of just chilling. You're turning around. You get teammated. I'd like to see you be a bit more of an aggressor here. Now, obviously, you don't really know exactly what's going on, but once you come, you get this pick right here. He's in an 8-second respawn screen, right? Your teammate actually got a pick at the same time here, so you have 2 enemies in the 8-second respawn screen. So about 4 seconds go by, you can eat up this map position freely. And now at 8 seconds, it's safe to assume that they're going to be spawning up right about now. So based on your positions, you have a teammate that's pushing in PD. PD spawn is blocked. You have 2 teammates pushing up Pink Street. That spawn is blocked. You guys actually get a pick there, and you have nobody else in your vision. So it's safe to assume, based on all of this information that you gathered from that little sequence, the ball carrier is kind of alone here. So I'd like to see you fly out and go get this ball carrier, especially with how slow your teammates are pushing up Pink Street. I'm not saying terrible play, you did it bad. They only got like 4 seconds volleyball time off of this. I just kind of wanted to paint the picture that way for you, so you kind of know what should be going through your head in these situations. You want to pay attention to the kill feed, you want to pay attention to roughly how long these enemies are dead, and you want to pay attention to where you think they could be spawning. This kind of comes with the awareness. So again, I'd like to see you be a bit more aggressive there, because you know how safe it could be back on that ball carrier there. Now you get a nice little kill there in tires. Good job living up here. You're looking around. You see your teammates ready to push, so you're able to push out towards this middle of the map here. You get this kill here, and you run out to grab the oddball, and you actually just go down here to be railing. Really unfortunate here, and kind of an unnecessary death. Obviously, you want as much control possible before you get that ball, and you guys kind of get that here in the kill feed. You even secure this kill. But if you're going to run out in the open, because it's safe to assume that the enemies are up by B. That's really the only area that they are going to, well, no pun intended, be at this point in time, because that is where all the fights are coming from. So obviously you're fighting one in C. You have a teammate actually go up towards B, and he actually dies up here on B and no trade. So, right? So in case you guys missed that here, Imagine Customs here on his team goes up. He is at B, right? And he dies in the kill feed here with no trade, right? So this Oreo fella is somewhere up there. You guys are fighting in C. You win one of the fights in C. You get this kill into trash. Well, you help get the kill here. Chalk actually gets the kill there. But it's still not Oreo. So it is safe to assume, based on all of this information we just took in, the enemy's going to be up by B. So again, if you're going to make this play and run out and grab that ball, you want to be very, very careful, because you have to know that somebody is going to shoot you from that direction. So either move it and get it to a safer area, or kind of go out and chow that B rail with your teammates, get that kill, and then pick up the ball and secure it. Instead, you kind of just go out in the open, you go to grab that ball, and then the unfortunate mishap is you're down, and now you're in the respawn screen. And now we're just going to watch this sequence right here, because I believe we end up with another mistake here, is, again, just not using your cover to fight. You want to hold this angle. Even though you only see one, it's the PD spawn almost always comes in here, always. And then you see another one come out. He's able to help his teammate, and you end up going down to this fella right here, back into the respawn screen. And this is kind of what puts you guys in the blender here. Spanker's coming up. They shroud screen it. You're very heavily watching it. You're challenging it. They get it. You're still looking in that direction. Enemy comes up and just backsmacks you. So again, you're kind of getting that tunnel vision here. You're looking in one area. You're staring. You're staring. Okay, they have rockets. There's not much you're going to be able to do here. You need to just leave it. You need to turn. You need to get out of there. Instead, you're still looking, and you actually back up into an enemy. So, a lot of gameplay we went through. I cannot keep going through it. I'm sorry, this video is so long. So the main things I want you to work on: communication, stack up with some players if you have any friends, any diamond players that you want to play with, even low Onyx players. Playing with higher players will definitely help you get better. From an individual standpoint, take those gunfights from cover. A perfect gunfight, you always have some cover to duck behind. You have an escape in case there's more enemies coming, everything of the sort. And most importantly, work around your teammates. Try to time up those pushes. Look for those baits and switches, and just always put yourself in a position where you're able to lay down damage. You have great reticle placement. You have great centering. I have no issues with anything really like shooting or gun wise. Just try to keep yourself in a position where you can always continue to shoot that gun. You pair all that stuff together with the gameplay that I've already seen here, and honestly, you should not have any issue getting into Onyx and hanging with those lobbies. Just try to be a little bit quicker, not just on the pushes, but be quick, check an angle. If there's nobody there, check a different angle. If there's nobody there, I need to get to my teammates and help them win those gunfights. All that stuff has to always be going through your head. So again, guys, I know this was a lot of gameplay. This was a really long one, but to have somebody on the cusp of Onyx like this and send me in some really good quality gameplay, I want to make sure to kind of go through it so that Revanite gets the most out of it and he can hopefully make that final push into Onyx, but also so you guys can see kind of the learning points and the intricacies and the teamwork that goes into the lobbies as you get higher. So yeah, guys, that's it. Hopefully, Revanite, you found this really helpful. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed it. Regardless, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you guys so much for all the support. If you made it to the end of the video, you are an absolute legend. But anyways, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next one.